the product's closer to what we dreamed it to be. I think creatively, or at least as an artist, there's part of the process that is, if you want to be relevant and working within the modern space, that you have to evolve and move as things move.
What's up, everybody? It's Keefy from GhostCultMag.com, and I am stoked to be joined today by the guys from Devour the Day. How are you doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
Having us.
That was an unintentional haiku. Sort of, almost a haiku, maybe one syllable short. Super cool to catch up with y'all. As I said offline, followed the band for a very long time. Super good, like really energetic, great songs, really good live. How are you guys doing? It's 2024. Holy shit.
Yeah, doing great. But time is flying. But it's nice to have music coming out, getting ready to play some shows, and have the band back on the road. I'm very excited about this year.
I dig it. You guys have a very prolific reputation. I feel like you put out, even when you were doing kind of the album tour thing, I feel like you have new music every single year, or something notable, a cool video, a collab, something, a soundtrack, something every year for you guys to look forward to, which I think is neat for your fans and says a lot about your work ethic.
Yeah, I like to say that Joey and I show up at our desk every day to try and create something new. And I think we've gotten really used to the idea that we make something and then we put it out for everybody to check out, and we just keep doing that. And touring is great. Obviously, it's fun and everything, but I don't think you can beat the process of writing something new every day and coming up with new stuff. It's one of the most exciting things, I think, I don't even want to say business. It's just music creation. It's just making new songs and jamming out to them.
Word. I'm very well known for saying it's the music business, not the music friendship. But if you can have the music friendship and the clever writers, we have nothing else except puns and little non sequiturs. We have nothing else, which a non sequitur is technically said, not written. But anyway, you know what I mean. And I think it's, if you can have a friendship and a rapport with people you trust and can be creative with, that's the best. Not always the case. We've all been there. I played in bands for many years. It was always kind of like a loveless marriage sometimes, which is no fun. If you're unhappy with your partner, it's break up. And if you're happy with your partner,
I've been in a loveless marriage. No, I'm kidding.
Let's do both of us a favor and just, we can live together, but we don't have to talk or anything.
Nobody wants that, but it does happen. And we just to kind of piggyback off that original question I asked, I do feel like on the flip side, it's awesome that you guys are always making and creating stuff and have stuff to look forward to, and love that thrill of that process. At the same time, your band has come up in the streaming age and kind of this social media grind age. And as a music journalist at a music website where we do the news, we also are in that grind. And I was just reflecting, and I work in marketing, so I'm a social media expert. And I was like, man, we posted to like 11 social networks today, all different, and slightly a variation of the same content, a little bit different. Some things unique, some things not so unique. But it's a mess, man. It's so much work. And I wonder if you guys, do you feel that personally? Do you farm out some of that stuff to, a team? How do you guys manage everything?
For us, I think we have tried. We found, I think, that in the end, we're drawn towards having creative control of everything that we end up working on, just because the product's closer to what we dreamed it to be. I think too, creatively, or at least as an artist, there's part of the process that is, if you want to be relevant and working within the modern space, that you have to evolve and move as things move. And I think when social media came around, you could see there was a real take a stance on either complaining about it and putting your kind of head in the sand. And then there was the other side of people who decided to embrace it and learn new creativity. And even for us, it took us a while, and still has, to find the way we want to approach things. We're late bloomers. It's fine to us to be able to do that and enter it the way that we want to. So having that control is important. I think that's why you can hear that in our new song, Nobody Owns Me. It's about that same kind of mindset, that it's better to have control and have it truly be from us than the latter, So
Joey would be a really good vlogger and journalist because he helped me with my segue. Let's talk about the video and the song. First of all, the songs are just an absolute bop. Really cool collab with Egypt Central. Humongous chorus, maybe one of my favorite ones you guys have ever written. It's so big.
awesome.
And I can visualize people like singing along to this and throwing the horns and pumping fists at a festival, maybe Incarceration Festival coming up this summer. But I love the track, man. It's so killer.
Thank you so much. And we will be playing that at Incarceration. I promise you. I can't wait to play it, to be honest.
It's gonna be. I mean, this will be the. It'll be. I mean, it might be the first time that we play that song, and so it's gonna be a lot of fun. I suppose.
Right,
I didn't know we were playing it till just now, but
Right.
I'm
Making-
very
we're
excited
making-
about it.
We're making the set list live, me and the band.
Yeah.
I'm not in the band, but I just helped. No, I didn't help.
Yes.
Let's talk about the collab, right? Because, the freedom you guys have kind of being, having this, success, but also having this kind of like DIY vibe where you do everything yourself, self-contained. Did you write the song together? Did you write it with them in mind? Did you write it and said, who'd be great on this? How'd you come up with this, this collab?
Well, this is
go
a
ahead.
very unique situation because Joey and I are in both bands. So bringing that together and having our singer from Egypt Central come down and be a part of it, it was a big moment for us to pull both audiences together and just celebrate this career that we've had and I mean, this is the first time that we've done anything like that, so it's pretty exciting. Sorry, Joey.
We had this. No, I was just gonna say we had this idea for that first verse that kind of had this like thing that we loved about like an old Eminem, Dr. Dre song where they're kind of going back and forth, and so as we started to write that, we realized it would be really cool to be able to show the true difference between Blake's vocal and John's vocal, but then also just letting people know that like these two bands are now housed at this label, A Window on Records, which is ours, that we put a lot of work into, that now is, almost into the 50 million streams in the last 2 years of being around. It's very empowering. And as much as I want to pretend it's us, it really has to do with the fans and the people who support us. And we've seen that internationally be the number one reason why most of this is possible, is because of the people and the constantly listening to the songs that makes us have the ability to do this.
Right on. I'm sure the minute you said Eminem and Dre, every single person watching this was like, "This looks like a job for me," and because my like Homer Simpson brain with the chimpanzee in the brain, right, went right to that. But yeah, super cool. I really appreciate that, and it's cool to have that again. You have that freedom now because of success. So that's really cool. There was a period of time where everything had to be through lawyers and different record labels, even if you had the same management. Today, there's a really great spirit of openness where you could kind of just come up with a collab and it's almost always, now, you know what, it's cool, let's do it. You didn't have that for a long time in the business. I know nobody today appreciates that in the era of features and collabs and all kinds of joint tracks, but like it wasn't always this way. It was super special when it ever happened. So now I feel like it's really cool that we have this kind of, so lucky for music fans.
I love that you appreciate that, because that is the way that we came up too. And I mean, honestly, until when the pandemic hit, we took such an aggressive nature towards making sure that we had control of, obviously, like the back catalog and all that kind of stuff, but anything we wanted to do going forward. And you're right, you would not have been able to do this with these two bands even 5 years ago. And so it really is, a flag of independence that we feel really proud about.
Right on. I dig it. Let's talk about the video now. So you have this phenomenal looking video, and it's definitely, I think we're stepping into a new era with AI, and I know that's a scary word to a lot of people. We're going to get into it in a second, but just generally speaking, it's visually striking and looks really cool. And I like when the AI doesn't look like AI. It's AI, but it doesn't look, it looks advanced. It doesn't look like something you've seen already. It looks like, oh, this is brand new, really cool. I can appreciate this. Not like the same tropey kind of stuff. I think we were used to a poorer version of this the last few years, and now we're into an era where it looks cool.
Yeah, the the major movement we noticed through working with a friend of ours that is just a very, very, very brilliant artist and very tech savvy. He's been talking for a while about how with these modern AI tools, you can tell a story through a regular, what would be kind of like a visualizer or like a lyric video for a band, where you're not really filming anything. You're just creating images and stringing them together. But pulling a story out of that has always been difficult. And I don't think I've ever seen one done quite like this music video, where there is a story, and we were able to put characters on screen and put them in positions and have them act things out. And yeah, I mean, it was an incredible experience to not be actually behind the camera or in front of the camera and be able to create 4 minutes of a story.
I remember this reminds me of a story of Soundgarden when they did Super Unknown. They did so many videos, and Cornell was so tired of being objectified. He was inarguably handsome. Rest in power, but I also don't feel bad that he was so good looking. But they were sick of doing videos, so they started coming up with, how can we, like, let's do a photo shoot and then not be in the video and let the photos be in the video. And then they were like, oh, but we still did like an 8-hour photo shoot. So I really appreciate that element where you didn't have to fully be in it physically. Now I will tell you, you guys, it's got like 42,000 views in like 2 weeks as we're recording this, and this will run sometime in the future, so I'm sure it'll be more, and deservedly so. It's fantastic. People should see this thing. At the same time, we are experiencing here at Ghost Cult, like, I'm watching a ton of controversy about AI in general and AI videos, specifically AI artwork and AI videos that, oh, you're taking a job away from an artist. You didn't. You worked with an artist to create the video, his specialty is this. And, I feel like it's definitely split houses. I'm all for it because I think it's going to get better and better, and it's going to help enhance bands and enhance things and keep things fresh. I still like music videos, even if we don't have an MTV that plays music videos. I think music videos and lyric videos and visualizers are a great tool to sell records and streams and things, but people are really hostile about it. Like that GNR video dropped a few months ago. I'm being a name dropping dick today, but I'm gonna say that GNR video dropped, right, for that refurbished song from Chinese Democracy, and the song's killer, and the video's fun, but it definitely looks a lot more artificial than your video, and I'm sure they spent a lot of money on it, but it didn't look great, and people were angry in their feelings about it. Like, I'm very mad at this, and it's like, what do you guys think? Is like, are people going to come along eventually for this journey and be okay with it? Or are they going to continue to be kind of divided?
I think, first of all, people love to be divided. That's almost become like a kind of personality, like trait that people like want to go into. And so for those people, I can ignore it, to be honest. I think that with AI, I'm open to the idea that, right or wrong, we may figure out later on that we don't agree with it, and we're okay with that too. But for now, it feels really cool and really like a part of the movement of using technology as it's coming in and being a part of something new. I remember the same kind of reaction when people started recording digitally and Pro Tools came around. People hated Pro Tools. There were purists that hated Pro Tools. And now it's almost become past in a way, you know what I mean? The way that things move. So I don't know. We've always had this kind of this metaphor of like, when this kind of stuff is happening, it's like, man, I'm sure all the horse and buggy people were pissed when cars came around. You know what I mean? That's just a part of the movie.
Especially the horses. They were
the
so
horses
mad.
were so it had nothing to do.
There's a similar, I think there was a similar uproar over auto-tune, and then Cher turned it into her sound, and I think that is like, of course people are going to be divided about something that in the wrong hands could be used for evil, and I think that's what it's like, a battle of good and evil. And so, to me, it's like, yes, AI is helping, and yes, it also is hurting. But so what? Let's just make the coolest stuff that we can while it's new and fresh, and go into this world of the unknown and see what we can come up with and push limits. that's kind of what the whole art industry is supposed to do.
Right on. By the way, nobody hates T-Pain either. Like
Right.
he's the auto tune guru,
Yeah.
and it's almost like also his calling card, like share. And yeah, nobody hates T-Pain. Nobody.
I think.
So,
Oh, I was just gonna say. I think too with AI or with any of this stuff, a lot of people, especially in this like time where in society you can kind of look into YouTube or whatever and kind of get any information that you want, or you can look into the internet and get any information that you want. They're like you're used to that, but you also just develop this thing where like it's a checklist on how you make it, on how you become creative or whatever. And I just personally don't think that that's what making art is about, is a checklist. If you're truly creative, you can be handed anything. It could be 3 colors or an entire AI digital, but you're going to come up with something at the end if that's what it's about for you. And so I think a lot of the uproar has to do with it's like, hey, you're changing my checklist, you're pissing me off because I have to change my checklist. And that's evolution.
right, and nobody wants to put anybody out of work. Creators need to get
Right.
compensated, and we have a basically a volunteer website for almost 12 years. Like, people do need to get paid for their work and their creativity, and we work in an industry that devalues music a lot. Even when you're successful like you guys on streaming, you have to have other ways to make revenue, because the streaming alone doesn't pay like selling a physical record used to, and still
Right.
does. Out of curiosity, because I really haven't followed it, are you, like, let's say you guys are going to eventually come out with an EP or a new album, will we get an opportunity to get some Devour the Day on vinyl, or some older records on vinyl someday, now that you have control of your stuff?
That's a good question. We have been talking about it. I mean, I think that has been something since we started AWI, as like that is a moment of pride, to be able to have a vinyl record from your own label, from your own art, of your own artist, out and circulating. And I think that yes, the easy answer to that question is yes. But there is a downside to it, in that one, vinyls are not cheap, and two, they take a long time to get pressed and delivered and everything. So for us, we've got a batch of songs. We're going to create a whole bunch more, and I think we'll have a vinyl record from all of our artists in the future.
Amazing. We love to see it, and I'm rooting for y'all to get that to happen, because I think the fans would love to have. I know that there's some, half the fans buy a record and they don't play records. I have a vinyl podcast where we're a little bit snobby about it, but we're not gatekeepery. If you want to buy a vinyl to put it on your wall or your shelf and just like, I have the vinyl from my band, cool. If you take your records out and you play them and you love them and you look at them like we all did when we were little kids, we had nothing but cassettes and vinyl. Remember that, folks? No digital music, or the radio. That's all you had, whatever was played on the radio.
Yes.
And you waited for the DJ to stop talking over the song. I was so mad all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
The word.
Yeah, like when do I start recording? Oh, I'm gonna have the guy's voice over the song now. But it is really cool that vinyl has made a big comeback. Again, all these things are kind of technology related advancements, or throwbacks and things. But I do feel like fans do love the physical product now, and you definitely can't sign a Spotify playlist. You can't put your signature on it. You can't show it to anybody. Really, you could share it, but it's not the same. So I think that's cool, and I'm rooting for y'all. Yeah, and I imagine, like, is there a timeline yet? I don't expect you to reveal too much, but is there a timeline for a next release? Would it be in the fall? Would it be 2025? What do you think?
We have 2 more songs that are a part of this EP. The which will be released probably May, I think. We'll have an official release date here in the next few weeks. And then we've got some really cool stripped versions. Like they're somewhere between 9 Inch Nails and an acoustic record meets, all these different influences of these versions of the songs. We're going to put out an EP of those. And then we're working on new music, and we'll be touring and getting vinyl record, I think, ready and all that kind of stuff. We just are kind of in the full swing of a churning music factory at a Window End Records, and we're very excited about it.
Amazing. we're on cycle, as we like to say in the
Yeah.
business. I always like to end these interviews with a wild card question, and I do try to pick them out specifically for everybody. I only thought I was talking to Blake, so now I'm going to ask the two of you a potentially difficult question, but we'll see how you do. Everybody, there's no right or wrong. Your question, your wild card question is my version of Desert Island Discs. We're going in the spaceship tomorrow. You're never coming back to this planet. You got to take 3 albums with you, or 3 playlists, or 3 artists that you have to listen to forever.
Okay.
What do you take with you? Blake, you go first.
I'll pick one. Joey, you pick one, and then we'll say the one, like we'll have a take. Okay. So
yeah,
if I'm going first, it is Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine. That is.
Oh, that can be our dueling record. That could be the one that we both take.
Nope, I already claimed it. That's on my side of the ship. You can't come on. You can borrow my record. Don't even look at it. You know that.
Okay, fair enough.
On the ship. No, that record. And then while you answer, I'll be thinking of it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think. Ooh, man. I think if I've got to go one playlist, maybe I'm gonna go. This will be random, but I'm gonna go Jim Croce, singer-songwriter, blue-collar dude. Reminds me of my dad. That's just how I gotta go.
You're like the best person to get stranded in a ship with, because I was on a ship not too long ago. I went on Shiprock, and they play metal music 24 hours a day everywhere on the ship. And as much as I love that, it's at some point it's like I kind of need a break from.
You need some Jim Croce, yeah,
right.
Dude. That's that. Yeah,
you got some sleep music, some wake up music, you know, and then when it's go time, throw on Rage. But if I'd say, I'm going to propose this, and I'm just going to guess that this is Joey's favorite, Dr. Dre 2001. I'm thinking that's your favorite.
we could do that,
right?
We could do that, yeah. I mean, truthfully, I love so many types of music, and my taste changes so much over the years, or has changed, that it would be really hard to narrow it down to 3. But I think we could get a lot done with those.
Yeah, I give us like 3 years, and then we're
like if you put on one more time.
We're crazy.
That's it. No more time in a bottle. I'm done. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I could listen to those Croce songs over and over. Those are 3. Those are 3 inarguably great artists and records. You know, we could ask Blake's cat in the background there what the cat's opinion is.
She's opinionated.
The Garfield theme song, perhaps. The old cartoon theme song. Heathcliff. That's another one. That was kind of punk rock. Like I said, there's no wrong answers, and I feel you very much on those choices. Good job. And I'm very sad that we're probably not getting any more Rage Against the Machine so that sucks. But whatever.
Probably not.
Probably not, but more Devour the Day. You guys rule. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate y'all. And let's do it again sometime, maybe the next time at a festival in person, or somewhere down the line when you're on tour again behind the next thing. Thanks so much for hanging out. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with Ghost Cult. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, brother. See ya.